November 20th, 2022. It's roughly 8:40ish in the morning. This is addressed to Congresswoman Maxine Waters in regarding to your, how shall I put this? As politely and nicely as I certainly can. You need to turn yourself into a neurosurgeon and scoop out the brains of Congressman McCarthy to see if he's actually human or not. Because unfortunately, my dear Congresswoman, he is part of Kern County, unfortunately. This is Donald Trump territory, unfortunately. I am one of the very few Democrats or libtards out here. Family's been a constant pain in the ass to the Republican Party. And I can honestly say that I am honestly ashamed of McCarthy being our supposed leader out here and trying to be the GOP leader. Congresswoman, you realize that from the 80s all the way up into the 2000s, we really hadn't had that much problems with the GOP during that time. I remember watching these shows even from the mid 70s. And yeah, I go back that far too. And I watched McLaughlin Group, the conservatives talking among themselves, and I found it entertaining. I didn't understand it when I was a teenager, but I'd get it as an adult, and I'm listening to them, and I was enjoying myself. Not to mention watching this week David Brinkley, and then when he switched over to different George Stephanopoulos, and that was pretty cool too, because I was getting more the balance between the Republicans and the Democrats, how they're looking at it from different points of view. Even though the media is supposed to be unbiased, but they are biased. That's how media is. It's been biased since the creation of it, anyway. I understand that Benjamin Franklin was biased. He wanted peace. That's bias. And he was trying to tell the truth the way his reporters and him saw it. How the British were treating the American colonists. And he was trying to get at a point of view. It's still biased. Even if you're left, right, center, you're still biased. There's no such thing as being unbiased. Because now you're encompassing everybody. And you're still biased because you're encompassing everybody. So you're still biased. McCarthy is lost. He's gone. He's hopeless. He ain't Charlie Brown, that's for sure. We don't know where he's going. We don't know where he's from. We don't know if he's still in his right mind. But I can tell you that with Boebert and Green in office, still maintaining, I feel sorry for their counties. I feel sorry for their territories. Because apparently they share the same viewpoints as the terminally ill of the GOP party. The GOP originals are gone. We have mutations. There is no inoculations for them. There are no testing for them. There is no Fauci to protect us from them. Except the American voters who are actually biased themselves. So now we're going to be entering a very unstable era again of politics. Like we had concerning about Trump and the supposed GOP party came in, and for 2 years did nothing except ruin and wrath and everything else in between. Pillaged, plundered, and pilfered. It was only because the Democrats had to step in to try to stabilize things, even with Trump in office. We actually had a few things done. But only when he got out of office were we actually able to get a few things more done than the past 2 years. But they had their time of getting illegal representations of Trump's world in there. So, Congresswoman, we are in for it. We are in for the long haul. These next 2 years are going to be Nancy Pelosi's nightmare. And yours and mine and everybody else who's wants to have America not technically great again. But if we're going to be showing ourselves as stable human beings and trying to understand the law, we're going to have to work harder with President Biden in office to get things done right now. So I'm hoping this video winds up in your attention here. I'm in Roseman, California. I'm way out of your territory. I'm LA born. Meaning I was in San Fernando Valley, but born in Downey. 2 years later, emigrated to San Fernando Valley, became a Valley dude. I had to leave in 2005 because lack of rent and housing, which was none. And waiting lists were beyond an arm's length. My family and I moved out here to Antelope Valley, unfortunately. I know, God help us all. And we wound up in the hands of the KRC. Originally we wound up in Palmdale, then Lancaster, and then finally in Roseman. I got to be grateful for one thing for Thanksgiving right now, Congresswoman, is that my family's not here to see how screwed up America is right now. I've been in community college for the past several years in my adulthood right now, taking a semester off because of health conditions. And seeing how the political landscape has been changing and mutating over these decades, it's horrifying. It's horrifying, Congresswoman. I've seen too much. 56, and I'm probably still in my, well, I'm going to be saying it in the first place, but I'd rather not embarrass you. Yeah, I'm still a young sir, so I just don't look it. I wish you well, Congresswoman, and I hope we survive these next 2 years. We're in for a rocky start. We may own the Senate. They still control the purse in the House at this point. We're going to have a field day. I know Biden's going to be helping us out, but these two are going to be critical and screwed up. And you do realize that Green and Boebert will do everything they can to make Biden's life a miserable hell. So please, unleash it on him back. Thank you, and you try to have a good Thanksgiving, if any. Take care.